Welcome to the HMIS Data Quality Report. This report is useful to monitor the data quality for your APR. To run the report, you want to click on Administration, Fiscal, HMIS Data Quality Report. In the project dropdown, you can select the project that you're running your report for. In the reporting date range, you will enter the date range that you would like to run the report for. You have the option of showing individual detail, but if you don't select this, you can still see individual detail for any flags that you need to identify. By default, the Send in Words Messages is selected. You will get a copy of this report sent to your Words Messages, and you can retrieve it at a later time. We normally do not select anything here, but this is an option to select one or more continuums of care just to limit the census to only clients enrolled in those continuums based on the client's assigned client location. So I'm going to leave that blank and I will click Continue for the report to generate. Once the report has generated, it will display, starting with Q1 Report Validation Table. On this table, we pay attention to the number of persons with unknown age, and we want to see a 0 there. We also pay attention to the number of child and unknown age heads of households, and you also want to see a 0 for that category. Q2 is taking a look at personally identifiable information, or PII. It's taking a look at the name, social security number, date of birth, race and ethnicity, and gender. And for these questions, it's taking a look at which responses where client doesn't know, they prefer not to answer, where the information may be missing, or any data issues with any records. So for example, number 3, data element name, there are 3 records who have data issues. When I click on that link, that linked number, it's going to identify which consumers I need to go back and check. And more than likely, it's because the data quality wasn't fully reported. I'm going to scroll back up to my report. And let me just add, you can use this personal ID to go back to the records and take a look at the intake admission form and how the data quality was answered. If it needs to be updated, you can do so at that time. The universal data elements is information that's collected across all of our federal partners, starting with veteran status, project start date, their relationship to head of household, enrollment, COC, and disabling condition. Which responses, for these data elements, which responses were answered as client doesn't know, prefers not to answer, information missing, and if there were any data issues. Q4, income and housing data quality, is taking a look at destination, so where the consumers were discharged to, what their incomes at time of admission, if an annual assessment was performed, income sources at annual assessment, and then at time of exit, at time of discharge. Chronic homeless status for these programs. And then the timeliness. Timeliness refers to how long it's taking case managers or the data entry folks to enter the information in the database. It takes a look at the client's admission compared to the time of data entry. HUD recommends that information is entered within 3 business days. So you want to stay away from these last categories, and you want your numbers to be counted within the 1 to 3 business days or less. Q7 is taking a look at any inactive records or any contacts within street outreach or emergency shelter, as well as any bed nights. This report can be exported into an Excel link if you like. And like I mentioned before, a copy will also be sent to your messages module And you can also take a look at the report in your messages module. The difference about looking at the report live versus using the messages module is that these inline details will no longer identify which records are being considered within that category. In order to identify the records, you will need to use the live report. So at this time, we wish you much luck with your data quality monitoring. And if you have any questions, always feel free to contact the help